good read from the freshman to the blocker. Andrew up front being very disciplined. She doesn't move until she knows exactly where the ball is going and got those hands up fast.
6 points for each team here today. Cabello, Maldonado Diaz. Minor to Andrew in the middle. Here comes Stanford.
All of a sudden, Stanford has a little bit more life. Minor's doing a much better job getting other hitters involved in the play. This time in the middle, even about 7-8 feet off the net. Really smart decision, knowing it's going to be 1-on-none.
3-0 run here for the Cardinal. DeBeer blocked out of play. Stanford looking over, perhaps saying there was a touch. Kevin Hamley has the challenge card out.
Sometimes it's so tough to tell on those really quick bang-bang plays from the block, too.
The original ruling is Louisville points. Stanford is challenging that the ball was in.
So looking for in out. Frame by frame. Oh, that looks in.
That definitely looks in, based on that angle.
Yeah, that's going to be a successful challenge, you would think, for Stanford and Kevin Hamley, so it should be a point for Stanford. But we'll see if they take a look at another angle, including this one here. Can you see?
That also looks in.
Yeah, I think you see enough of the ball in the line, even though we're being screened by Harvey. If that was the only angle he had.
After review, the ball was in. Stanford point. Stanford retains the challenge.
So a successful challenge for Hamley and the Cardinal. First ACC road trip for Stanford. They were at Notre Dame on Friday. They will charter home tonight. It's the first of 4 trips to the Eastern Time Zone in ACC play for the Cardinal. I think we're making a bigger deal out of it than Hamley and his team are. We brought it up with him yesterday. He's like, no big deal. Teams together, enjoy each other. That's all hands, and Maldonado Diaz gets the point for Louisville.
Maldonado Diaz flying through the air to try to put it down.
We did some research, okay? You didn't know you were sitting next to a time zone expert because the 2023 numbers do reflect that Arizona does not recognize daylight savings time. So you can see there are many more trips east. They had 1 trip to this time zone last year. It was to this building last September.
Designated time zone expert, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just felt like I needed a niche, and that was it.
Someone had to do it.
Well, there'll be quite a few trips out east in this new look for Stanford playing in the ACC. We're still trying to figure out what's right. Will they stay on the road when they go to SMU and then go up to Pittsburgh for that big showdown coming up in a couple of weeks? There's a lot of things you got to experience once before you know what's right and what's wrong.
Kevin Hamley has talked about, hey, the only thing that joining the ACC means in terms of a level of competition, all that aside, but in terms of travel, it's just 2 more hours on an airplane. It's time that they get to study and all that anyway.
8-8 here in the 3rd set. Curtin. Scott for DeBeer. 6 kill for Anna DeBeer.
DeBeer might not be having the most efficient night offensively, but she's also making up for it in different ways. Doing a nice job defensively. Tide leading the team with 12 digs already. Now she's starting to find that offensive rhythm just a little bit more.
I wonder, too, remember earlier in the match when Cabello fell on her arm, she stayed in the match. Maybe there's nothing wrong. I don't think Anna DeBeer would be one who would come out if she could lift her arm over her head. Well, that's off Stanford. That's going to be a point for Louisville.
In this rotation for Louisville, Cabello playing in the front court right now. Normally their setter's always in the back row. They still got Maldonado Diaz going on the back row attack, a D-ball, meaning the right back.
strokes long, and it's a point for Stanford on service error number 8 for the Cardinals. Maldonado Diaz will check out along with Cabello. Ellie Glock comes on. Block. Looks for Cressy, but Stanford there with the block.
How about that read from Elia Rubin? Did such a nice job. Even though Louisville runs a 6-2, they still run slide attacks, so Rubin has to be locked in for that quick attack behind the setter.
8 blocks for Stanford.
Really good blocking night for a team that normally struggles in that category.
Block. Looks for Nadir. Hangs in the air. Arm looked fine on that swing. Point, Louisville.
Stunning swing off of an even more stunning set. This ball right up at the net. The setter fakes out. Looks like she's going to the middle, holding the middle blocker one more time. That leaves DeBeer one-on-one.
7 kills now for DeBeer, up to 200 hitting, and she'll head back to serve. It's a tough one for Minor. Free ball here for Louisville, and a violation on Stanford. Double contact.
Here's what's new this year. They got rid of the double contact as long as it stays on your side. But if you send the ball over the net and it has that funky spin on it, that's a fault.
12-10 for Louisville. Block out there. Cressy recognizes she had to get it for Louisville. Left side, Looper. Rubin, a big rip for Elia Rubin, heating up now for Stanford. That's 7 kills for her.
Stanford doing a really nice job keeping these balls off the court. Elena Oakley, are you kidding me? Great job just getting that up so the setter can run a good offense. Rubin has to do a lot in that out-of-system play, but she's finding ways to put it down.
And another service error for Stanford. That's number 10 for Hambley's team. Risk reward from the service line for Stanford. Overpass. That's going to make its way over, but out of play. And it's a point for Stanford.
Kind of a chaotic play on Louisville's side. When that happens, if the ball's maybe gone into the net, you just want to get it high so someone can make a play on it.
Block for Looper. We didn't say her name for a minute or two, but I think we're back to saying it now that she's in her familiar spot on the left side.
And this ball even brought inside. They're moving around where Looper's taking these swings from just to try to vary it up a little bit and test out Stanford's defense even more.
Cabello with the serve. Rolls down the tape and out of play. Point Stanford. We saw Looper matching her season high when she had 17 in the 5-setter against Creighton. Already with 17 kills, and we're playing in the 3rd set here against the number 3 team in the country.
Inefficient, hitting that so well at 382. Anything really over 300 is insanely impressive for an outside.
That's going to be an ace for Stanford, and we're tied at 14.
There's that risk reward playing out. A player like Taylor Yu going back there, hitting her serve. Now, she's not one that tends to make a lot of errors. She's coming in as a serving specialist, has to do her job. Well executed.
Cabello. Looper on the right side, set back by Stanford. So the Cardinals showing some life here in set 3. It was a slow start to this set, but they have pushed back, and Kevin Hambley's team needing to win this set to keep this match going, on top by 1 at the media timeout. Talk to Danny Busman-Kelly about Churchill. Service error for Minor. That's 11 for Stanford.
As we're trading points back and forth, errors become really important. When you're trading points, sometimes it becomes a question of who can make less errors in this set.
Detrand on the serve for Louisville. That one goes long.
Get a little contagious on both sides.
I think Danny Busboom Kelly is going to press her luck here. 3 for 3 on challenges so far.
That was definitely close.
Everybody's like, Danny, if you get this one right.
We're all going to Churchill
The
Downs.
original call was out. Louisville was challenging that the ball was in.
This was another one that was right in front of Kevin Hambley and the Stanford bench. It's going to be out.
It's out. A little bit of red between the line and the ball.
The original call is confirmed. Louisville loses a challenge.
So Louisville down to 1 challenge remaining until we get to a possible 5th set, and they would receive an additional challenge.
It's a quick, efficient challenge as well. Keep the game moving.
So Danny now hitting 750, still a good number. So right now, Stanford has 12 service errors and 2 aces. Now, I know aces aren't the be-all, end-all, which tells you how efficient and how aggressive you're being serving, but when you get to a certain point, it's 12-2 for that ratio. That's not good.
And Kevin Hambley has talked about he's okay with the misses that are maybe a little bit long. They found that there's no difference in terms of their point scoring, whether they're making or missing serves, but it comes down to a point where you can't be missing them in the net. At least give the opponent a chance to play it.
Louisville gets hands on it with the block again. Ogilvy. Oh, that's Louisville's defense stepping up again. Cressy and Reese Robbins on the right side.
Cressy and Robbins is not a block that you want to go up against. 6'6" and 6'5", forming an absolute brick wall up front to shut this down.
Timeout called by Stanford as Louisville's up by 2 late here in the 3rd.
Reese Robbins has done such a nice job setting this up, knowing where that ball is, sealing the line, getting the middle involved on the play as well.
So Louisville using their defense, something that's always been a key to their success, averaging 3 blocks a set this season. They had 13 blocks against Cal. They were a +9 in that category. Here in Louisville on Friday night, they have 7 blocks here today. So as the teams talk it over, we can take a peek ahead. And guess what? We've got some great matches coming up. Hawaii and Long Beach State. Late night on Saturday on ESPNU. Texas with an SEC showdown against Florida. We talked about that doubleheader. That's game 1. Match number 2, Baylor and TCU. I want to turn your attention to that Stanford-Pitt match coming up on October 20th as Pittsburgh continues to roll as Stanford gets set to make a trip to Steel City.
And that's a matchup that could potentially determine the ACC title, and again, potentially determine which teams are hosting through the first 4 rounds up until the championship coming up. Really big ones.
You know what Tuesday is? October 1st. That means it's 2 months to the selection show on December 1st.
Heck yeah.
And we know this time of year, you know, it's fall, we're getting close to the holidays. Time speeds up. It does not slow down. So we are going to be at selection show and NCAA tournament time, and then here at the KFC Yum Center for the national semifinals and national championship the week before Christmas.
And
Looking forward to it.
Louisville has a potential chance to play at home the entire tournament long as well.
That's up. Great defense at the net. Great defense in the backcourt. And it turns out to be defense into a point for Louisville.
Defense can't always get your points in the backcourt, but what it does is creates opportunities to go to the next play and keep the pressure on your opponent. Elena Scott is one of the best in the country at that.
Ellie Glock. That's going to come up well short. Service error number 10 for Louisville.
That one wasn't particularly close. You got to just flush it.
It happens. Ogilvy. Serving DeBeer. Block to DeBeer. Ellie Blunt says, I can make up for that serious error by a perfect set to the All-American Anna DeBeer.
DeBeer has heated up as this match has gone on. Her efficiency just skyrocketed in the last set and a half. You think you're okay because Looper's in the backcourt and you got DeBeer up there, but now both outsides firing.
Looper and DeBeer combined for 26 of the 42 kills for Louisville. Rubin. Looper kept it up, but that's going to head out of play. Scott ran into the scores table. Taylor Bevan back to serve for Stanford. No margin for error right now for the Cardinal. There's the block. Hustling after it, but unable to get there was Pringle. Point Louisville.
Reese Robbins shutting down the outside attack for Stanford so well. She's not only setting it up well, but watch how far she gets her hands over the net. It is a wall up front to get by for Rubin.
Denied. Scott gets it up. Looper. That's wide. Point for Stanford. No challenge. No need. Looper knows it was off the mark. Sixth attack error on 37 swings for Charity Looper.
That's just like missing your free throws. You've got to hit those at least in the court. Maybe if they go out of bounds, it's okay, but you cannot send that ball in the bottom of the net as the opponent's up trying to get the sweep.
13 service errors, costly for Stanford in his top 5 showdown as Cabello goes back, 2 points away from the match for Louisville. Tight at the net. And won by Minor. You talked about her strength before. She wins a lot of those battles.
She is so strong, and every time she goes up there, it looks like she's even more determined than the other side. She knows she doesn't get many opportunities to go up and get a block or a kill. That's when she wants to put down.
Good serve from you. Looper had to get her steps right, but she has not had a misstep here today. A new season high, 18 kills for Charity Looper, and fittingly, she'll head back and serve for the match.
What better way? Anytime she's getting the ball, just finding the floor time and time again.
The block is out of play, and Stanford stays alive. Set point number 2 coming for Louisville. Tammy Minor trying to keep things going here for the Cardinal. Cabello, DeBeer for the match! What a performance by Louisville. They sweep third-ranked Stanford. Taking set 3, 25-22. There was so much disappointment 1 week ago after Nebraska swept Louisville on this building. This is a sweet feeling to bounce back a week later and do that against the top 5 team.
Not only is this an incredible bounce back, this is a statement win for Louisville. This is a team that is trying to host to the first 4 rounds of the tournament, trying to vie for that ACC title. This now keeps them on top of that, and they are laser focused headed into the rest of ACC play.
Charity Looper with a season high 18 kills and a big smile as Louisville is celebrating. Ask her to bring that smile over here.